Our second caution here at the Meijer 300 presented by Ritz, and it's be the 11 of Brian Scott got turned around on the backstretch. More on that in a moment, but this will be the competition caution. So even though it is a few laps earlier, let's go with the triple pits, and Dr. Jerry Punch, you're going to be up first.
Reed Sorensen pitting at the upper end of pit road. There's Josh Wise in the middle and Justin Allgaier down at the bottom. They're going to be 2 tires only on the Toyota for Reed Sorensen. Complaining of needing front grip, they're going to change air pressure in the front. Vince.
The 7 of Josh Wise said it started out a little free, started to tighten up, but he liked it. They're going to put a little more air in the right rear and Sunoco fuel. 2 tires. Jamie.
Justin Allgaier said he was tight early. That is not a good thing as the cars get tighter as the evening goes on. 4 tires, air pressure front and back, Dave.
Joey Logano, the leader, will take 4 tires. His car just a little bit tight. They will raise the track bar just a little bit for Logano. Meanwhile, Carl Edwards on pit road. They're going to put a pound of air in the right front. They're going to put the track bar down 4 rounds to try to fix that car without changing anything. And they'll get a look at it here, and we'll see if we can get a further update on Carl's situation.
Well, you saw the problems that Justin Allgaier's team had a 15-second stop, and of the 3 in the triple pits, it was the worst.
Yeah, I talked to Justin Allgaier.
Good job.
Now let's go back and show you why we are under this second caution. We mentioned the fact it was Brian Scott, and it's been a rough night for him, and we're only 22 laps into this thing.
Okay, so he comes off of turn 2 right here in this flat and loses it.
You're coming up on his 11, right by your side.
But now, the thing he doesn't realize is that the rear spoiler on that car is almost broke off. It's laying almost flat. That creates no downforce. That car's sliding all over the place, and he's probably thinking, hey, I got a little damage, but they knocked it up just now a little bit, so it's probably going to help.
And you can see they're back in and trying to give him some of that much-needed downforce. A tough night, as we mentioned, for Brian Scott, but so far, a great night for Joey Logano. Just going back to green flag racing, it's Brad Coleman who took no tires. Sorensen, Bliss, Wise, Logano, Lagasse, Allgaier, Annette, Menard, and Presley. That's your top 10. You're saying, where's Scott Riggs? He got busted for a loose tire outside the pit box. He started at the rear of the field. And look at Josh Wise. He is being swept up quickly there by Allgaier and also the 43 Lagasse.
Yeah, he got caught in the center right there. Did a smart thing by just getting back to the bottom of the track, getting out of the way until that thing gets back going again.
7th race in his career that Brad Coleman has led. Josh Wise would love to get up there and taste that front row as well, but he's got his work cut out for him. Here comes Paul Menard underneath Michael Annett in the 15. Right behind them is Stephen Wallace, all for position. That is 8th, 9th, and 10th. On board with Stephen.
Yeah, you got a mixed decision of what happened here. You got 2 tires, no tires, gas only. A lot of stuff like that now.
Battle for 5th on the racetrack. You've got Allgaier and Lagasse. And right behind him, Josh Wise. Right in front of them is Joey Logano trying to work his way back up. What's the latest on the 7, Vince?
Well, Josh Wise came on the radio right after that restart, and he dropped a few positions, and he said, the car just went away from me right there. He said, I don't know what happened. He said, I'll try to get back on the horse here. They liked their car in the middle of the run as it started to go during that first stint. Felt it was a little too loose early on, but keep an eye on the 7 of Josh Wise. He seems to think that maybe once they got through that restart, it'll be a little better. We'll see.
And we're hearing it on the 60 of Carl Edwards. We finally found out it was a flat tire situation.
Yeah, right rear tire was down. That definitely caused all the problems he was describing, and kind of explains why he dropped so far back.
Let's also update you now that Mark Green has pulled it behind the wall, so Green, O'Quinn, Carter, and Setzer are off the track. Joey Logano right there. He has got a mirror full. He's got Mike Bliss right behind him. He has now moved into 3rd. He is starting to work his way back to the front. Did not have the best of pit stops.
Like Rusty said, a lot of people did different things. You had 2 tires, and some people didn't take any. A lot of cars took 4. Joey Logano took 4. Brad Keselowski took 4. And, you know, those guys are thinking that maybe those tires will come into play later in this run.
Battle for 9th. You've got Stephen Wallace and Paul Menard.
You know, Marty, you talked earlier about this race hasn't been one farther back from the 11th place. You got to believe that these drivers are hearing that and they know those stats. They want to get these cars in the top 10 because it is very hard to pass at this racetrack when you get way back. These front ends take off. They start pushing and slipping and sliding. It's tough to negotiate this bumpy track.
Been a lot of action going on throughout the middle of this field as well, and now it's finally starting to settle down. You're saying, where's Brad Keselowski? Well, 15th right now. There he is, the 22, just on the right side of your screen. He's going underneath another car trying to get around. That would be Brendan Gaughan's next target, and the 16 is further back.
See Colin Brown right there. Colin Brown needs to have a good run right now, needs to keep this car on the racetrack, don't get it in a wreck. It's happened before to him. He's been out for a while. He's learned a lot, listened to Matt Kenseth and a lot of his teammates. Just needs a good, solid run tonight.
A good thing for him to do right now would be to let this 22 car go, follow him. You know he's going to the front. He's doing it in a methodical way. Could learn a lot right here at this point of the race.
Let's get an update on Keselowski, Vince.
Similar to what we saw last week at Nashville when Brad Keselowski started 24th and drove through the field to win that race. Keselowski said on that first stint the car just kept getting better and better the longer they went. That's good news for the 22, maybe bad news for everybody else. They didn't make any changes on that car during that first stop, just 4 tires and fuel.
They also had the fastest 4-tire change of anybody, 13.5 seconds. So pit crew doing their job.
So Keselowski in 14th, Gaughan right in front of him in 13th. Colin Brown behind him now in 15th position.
You see Brad really working the steering wheel, and if you watch this car, it looks like it's real harsh over the bumps. Looks like it's fast, but it looks like it's difficult for Brad to drive. He's doing a great job with it, though.
You know, you think about this racetrack right now, there's only a couple things to do. You either go under the bumps, through the bumps, or around them. And I think when the track starts rubbering up, you're going to see a lot of guys running the high line, especially in turn 3 and 4.
Closest battle we have going on right now near the front is for 4th. Mike Bliss has the spot. Justin Allgaier is closing in. Let's get an update on the 33, Dave Burns.
And Marty, what they wanted most out of that round of pit stops was clean air. They had intended on not taking any fresh tires at all, but there was a little bit of a snafu on pit road, so they ended up taking 2. That cost them a little bit of time, so they still haven't had a chance to see what that car will do out front. It's good and balanced, but look for him later to try to get him some more track position.
Well, he's maintaining station right now in front of Justin Allgaier in the Verizon Wireless Dodge. And our Verizon Wireless customers can text Champion to 43776 for exclusive Champion chats, content from our NASCAR Now Roundtable of Experts. 35 laps are complete. And we've got Stephen Wallace taking a look underneath Michael Annett. That's for 8th position on the racetrack. And while this is going on, we'll tell you that Reed Sorensen's lead is now 1.5 seconds as Stephen clears for the position.
You see how bumpy that track is. Those cars just jumping all over that thing. But I do see him working the top side a little bit more. Jamie, what's the 66 saying?
Well, so far so good, Rusty. Both of the RWI cars, same setup actually is what they came in that last pit stop. They both opted to do a track bar adjustment. Both cars are tight, but they are moving forward. Stephen Wallace started 16th, running 9th right now. The car has been good. Communication is good, and he's going forward.
And on the left side of your screen, so is Justin Allgaier as he's trying to take away 4th place on the high side around Mike Bliss, and I think he's got him, yes.
And that was a powerful move right there, just right around the outside.
So move Allgaier to 4th. Bliss to 5th. It is Sorensen, Coleman, and Logano, your top 3.
Tell you, we talk a lot about Justin Allgaier and this Penske team, but man, it has been night and day difference from last year to this year about how much better they're performing. The cars, good pit stops, a lot of horsepower. New year for them, that's for sure, Marty.
Give you a perfect example. Between the 2 Penske's cars, they have completed every lap of every race, but just one. And right now, you see where Allgaier is in 4th and his teammate Keselowski in 13th and moving forward. But it's Reed Sorensen in front after 38 laps.